Okay, I have a quick question that maybe somebody might be able to actually respond to. There was a woman that was sitting here saying cis heterosexual gendered males, and she continued to actually repeat it. Now, I'm confused. Either you want pussy and you're able to actually eat it, and this might go against um, your guys' guideline, or you don't. Seriously. When I was working in a major casino, all my coworkers were thinking that I was, you know, that way. And they actually got me tickets to, it was a pool party for, I guess you could say, the transgender community. And, there was one time we were actually walking down through it, we were done with work, so I didn't have to actually really worry about it. And this one woman was walking up, and she was drunk off of her ass. And, you know, she's sitting there asking us if we want to go out on a date. And I'm like, well, I just have to actually I just have to get all my stuff out of the office and we can do something. And she actually gave me a kiss and it gave me a boner. Now, does that make me a cis heterosexual or heterogender male? Now, let's go ahead and let's actually think about this in one second. If you're getting kissed by a woman and you get an erection, does that make you gay? No. Now, if you actually kiss a male and you actually you don't feel like it's actually a comfortable thing, then does that mean that you're gay? No. If a woman actually plays around with her girlfriends in her sorority, does that make her automatically a lesbian? No. But I'm just confused. What if we're actually being mislabeled at this point in time, like we're cis heterosexual males? I don't know if I don't really understand it. These people are just lunatics. I'm sorry. I'm watching the liberal hive mind, and these people are turning into absolute lunatics. And a lot of it has to do, it's kind of like, I like Brett Cooper because she reminds me of someone I used to know. And she is a cute young girl. And she actually is damn near as close as I could actually find that was just like her. Except for she's just her name is Brett Cooper. It's the comment section with Brett Cooper. If you want to check out her channel, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give you, um, that options. I'm not gonna put it in the comments down below. Anyways, just remember it's the comment section with Brett Cooper. She's a cute little girl. And why I'm saying that is because she's like 23, I think. And literally, since I'm 45, honestly, I was actually driving before she actually was even born. So that's kind of a kicker that goes along with it. It just, it's just, but you have a lot of these people that were on earlier that are saying, leave our kids alone. And he had a big old board that was on the, and there were people that were walking by and sitting here saying, you know, and I mean, they just kept walking by. Don't you dare! Don't you? Now, you guys are just so much of hypocrites. I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on. Someone who's not able to actually really make their own decisions. Now, let's go ahead and we'll think about it in my terminology and the way that I grew up. I grew up in a Catholic school, and I never even thought about really any kind of problems with women or anything that actually had, any kind of issues. Went into the men's, or back in those days, the boys' restroom. They went into the girls' restroom. So, now that I'm a grown man, us grown men are now being called cis heterosexual males. What? What? Wait a minute. Hold on. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. What the fuck is wrong with this world? Seriously. You guys are probably sitting here saying, oh, well, you're waving your hands around. Like, just because I have anger and I have aggression towards these idiots that are sitting here, they're saying, well, we're all feminists and you're a man that needs to be pushed down. And that's exactly how things are actually, composing themselves. Women, oh, well, we are so oppressed. You don't have to go to war. If I actually got called to war, I would go to war. I would have absolutely no problems with it. Seriously, I'd have no problems with going to war. If it was between the United States of America and Russia or China, I would have absolutely no problems going to war. But I know they say that, at my age, we wouldn't take you. But I guarantee to you, first and foremost, back in World War II, they actually brought in people that were around 45, 50 to actually be corporals or anything. If I'm actually mistaken, then somebody actually leave any kind of comment below. Because from what I know, in World War II, because they thought it was going to be such a bloodbath in comparison, and which it really wasn't. I mean, honestly, all the wars together, barring the wars that were before, I would say the birth of Christ, because before the birth of Christ, you lost entire civilizations completely. But it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. It's like they sit here and say, well, do you sit to go pee? If I'm halfway asleep and I have to go pee, I'll pee standing up or I'll pee sitting down if I'm just so exhausted and I just need to go back to sleep. It's not anything that actually you really think of. And that's really one of the things that I'm confused about. So, this world has just gone so far left. And I don't know why. It's like I said, my doctor one time sat here and said, well, I would consider you as a liberal. Why? Because I have MS and am getting, well, I'm getting subsidies from the government because I have problems staying awake, and lots of other things. Anyways, um, and she really couldn't give me an answer, and that's what I'm just sitting here looking at. Like I said, liberal hive mind. If you want to really start actually thinking, instead of actually being just, a part of this entire mess that our country is going into, like they were showing an entire rat study that they actually had back in the day. A group they did a group of studies, multiple groups of studies of rats or mice, and what happened was they would actually separate the women from the men mice, and then what would happen is the men mice would be attacked by the women mice, and basically then the men mice went off onto their own. Okay, and so I've gone way over, and I know it sounds like I'm just talking in circles, but I do have a point. And so it sounds to me like this is exactly what happened. But the problem with it is because of these men mice that went off onto their own because these women extruded dominance over all these males because of their estrogen. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with estrogen because actually it is nice, yes, to actually stand next to a woman at the gym and smell her. It's just one of those things. Anyways, I'm just sitting here saying, us men need women, women need men. Can we get along? Can we? I don't think so. Just because now, instead of just being a normal, average, everyday man, well, I pay for everything anyways on the first date. I'm a traditionalist. I enjoy that. Now it's just because women actually have not just a laundry list. Let's just go ahead and we'll sit here and get books from the Articles of Congress. And that wouldn't actually even cover what they actually expect from us men. And I don't have a problem with paying for the food. Yes, you have to actually see what they do bring to the table. But also another thing is you don't want to automatically just go at it like right at the first date because, oh well, then the guy's just gay. No. What you want to do is you want to get to know him. Oh, well, why should we listen to you? Because you're actually, you don't have anybody that you're dating. You have absolutely no psychological experience of this. Actually, it's been proven time and time and time again that men and women, and especially with like the 1930s, that men and women do better when they get to know each other before they start having physical intimacy, and also that the woman is a virgin. And so I think that's where the Bible was right. And so, I mean, you don't have people that just pop out of the middle of the air, or because mommy didn't actually have any kind of sex. Wow, you just spontaneously combusted out of my hoo-ha. That's not the way that it goes. Anyways, I'm just confused at all this shit because, first and foremost, yes, you think that I'm doing things opposite way. That's exactly what she was. And she was basically I'm the alpha of the relationship. I can do whatever the hell I want. Oh, well, you need to go see a psychiatrist. That was a long time ago. And it obviously still has real problems. So, and there's a problem with that, too. They're looking at it after the fact. And so I'm sitting here and I'm actually improving myself by actually, preaching to God, following a path towards holy enlightenment, I guess you can sit here and say. And right now, falling in love is really the last thing on my mind. And a lot of people say, well, time runs fast. Well, us men can still actually have kids until 65, 70, even later than that. And that's the truth. Women need to actually start understanding this entire bullshit about women actually now, they found out a way to take their bone marrow and create children from it. That's all like crap. Women just want to try to actually sit here and one step up us every single time because they feel like you make us feel small. No, we don't. We're trying to actually do work for you. And that's the whole thing. We're trying to work for you and be a good man for you. And we want to actually support our family. And I just got sick and tired of actually what they call simping. In all honesty, I had one girlfriend who actually used me like I was nothing else. And I got sick and tired, so I finally kicked her ass out. I had to get a restraining order against her. The cops laughed at me because, well, we're not a taxi cab service, so you get rid of her yourself. I'm like, I have a restraining order from the court that wasn't able to actually be served to her ass, and because every single time that they would be there to serve it to her, she would disappear. So, how is it that men and women are equal? Let me go ahead and I'll give you absolutely none. The entire world right now is on just the female side, and all men are just evil rapists, killers. And this is because of Hollywood and what they have been putting onto just regular TV since like the 1970s. And that's all I have to really say about that, because right now, femininity is destroying the entire United States. It's making men refuse to actually even go out on dates when they're sitting there. They're saying, well, we want a man to go and make $650,000. Otherwise than that, no. Well, do you make $650,000? No. How much do you make a year? About $45,000. Okay. So why would you expect me to make $650,000? Yeah, the pay gap. These women and these feminists have created this entire thought process of there's a massive pay gap. Men and us. Okay, if I needed to, I would actually start working in the labor union. And I would start actually doing stuff that is hard labor on the freeway, and I'd probably actually have a seizure while doing it, but I would still have to actually do it if that's actually at all possible. You know, it's just one of those things that I can't understand. I cannot get behind, which is all this LQRFTFU2 plus or negative. I need to actually figure out what numbers or how many people that there are, or how many different kinds besides men and women. How many different kinds of beings there are on this earth? Because as us humans, now it hasn't just turned to, okay, there's two, and we have to get along, and that's what really the playground was. And that's the truth. That's what the playground was. It was to actually get men and women to play together nicely. Look it up. You'll actually figure out that that is true. And it was actually a study that was done a long time ago. And I didn't just make that up out of thin air. But, anyways, have yourself a good day. Bye.